Hello again everyone, welcome to another video. I know it's been a while, but I've got tons of material, so I should be uploading a few videos one after the other, really quickly. Now, we're going to start mobile robotics today, and we're going to start with a short video on what a robot actually is, and what a mobile robot is. So we can define a robot as an artificial device that can sense its environment and act purposefully in this environment. And we can also define it as an embodied artificial intelligence and a machine that can autonomously carry out useful work. Now, a mobile robot can do all of this. So it's a robot that is also capable of moving around in its environment and performing certain tasks in its environment. Okay, now the reason we want to use mobile robots is because the ability to move means the mobile robot's workspace, the area in which it can carry out its work, is expanded. So we want mobile robots because because mobility extends the area in which the robot can work. Alright. Of course, there are downsides to this. When I say downsides, I mean there's more that needs to be done. There's more work that needs to be done, and there's more components and abilities that need to be added to the robot for it to be able to be mobile. So we must add the following: abilities / components, let's say, to the robot for it to become mobile. So it needs to have knowledge of its environment, it needs to recognize objects in this environment, and it must be able to generate a real-time response. To external stimuli, or potentially internal. And, importantly, it needs to be able to do all of these simultaneously. Now, that's a rough idea, but let's have a diagram to help us to visualize what's going on in this mobile robot. So, to start with, we have some sensors here. So let's call these sensors. This box is going to contain these. So these sensors include a camera, microphones. So let me write those down. A camera, microphones, proximity sensors, an accelerometer, potentially all of these, and so the camera allows it to see what's going on, like we do, can view its environment, see objects, recognize objects, view obstacles potentially. The microphone allows it to listen, potentially to voice commands or something that's going on. The proximity sensors, again, it allows the mobile robot, to detect if something's nearby that it could potentially bump into or that could bump into it. And the accelerometer allows it to measure its acceleration, its linear acceleration. So after the sensors feed in to the brain of the robot, like this. Oops. Okay. Yeah, so the sensors feed into the brain of the robot here. The brain. And the brain contains the microcontroller and the software of the robot. So it contains the computation related hardware, basically, the hardware that runs all the software, and the software is whatever the programmer, the maker behind the robot is wants it to do. It's going to have software based on that, and the software is going to be able to take the raw data and output it, convert it into a useful form, and then let's make this crayon as well. Okay, and then the data can be used for all of the purposes of the robot. Basically, it can be used for it's going to be most generally for signaling and locomotion. So let's make 2 boxes for that. Signaling, and in signaling we've got lights and speakers. And then if we just have another box for locomotion, so movement. And then we've got the motor, or wheels basically, or it could have legs potentially. And the motor is going to drive the wheels, and then we could have robot arms, and maybe some other things like tracks, but you get the idea. And then down here we're going to have the battery, which provides us with energy, provides the robot with energy. Okay, so this gives you the basic idea of what the robot's taking in, what the robot's got, and what the robot's going to output. So this is a very, very rough look at the mobile robot, and in the later lessons, of course, we're going to go into more detail with each of these aspects. So for now, we can screenshot this and put it down here. Just as a reminder. And the robot can also be classified by how much human input it needs to take to work. So it requires to work. Which we can also call the amount it is dependent on them. So again, let's go over to Paint for this. We don't need to say that. So if we have a line or an arrow with increasing human input, then something with very little human input or no human input is autonomous. A mobile robot with no human input is autonomous. One with a medium amount of human input is commanded. So a human will tell it to, say, complete a certain task, and it might be able to complete that task on its own, but it will need to be told to. And then with complete human input, it's just, or close to complete human input, it's just remote controlled. Like a remote controlled car or a plane or whatever. And let's screenshot that as well. And put it down here. Okay, so that concludes our first lesson on mobile robotics. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you tune in next time, which should be quite soon. Bye bye.